Welcome to Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at singing Christmas carols, but mostly we're poor at singing Christmas carols. I'm...
You were supposed to say poor at making art.
Yeah, but we're just so bad at Christmas carols.
True.
But I'll try it again. Welcome to Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at singing Christmas carols. Really, really poor at singing them. But mostly, we're poor at making art. I'm Isaac.
And I'm Benj. So, as you can probably tell, today we're going to draw Christmas carols.
But we're not going to sing them.
No. Fortunately for you all, the world isn't ending yet.
Nope. And if it does, we'll be out there in the front yard singing Christmas carols.
It's how you know the end times have come.
Yep. If you see us in your front yard singing Christmas carols, you better prepare for the worst.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm going to draw here.
Let's
carol.
See. Christmas carols.
Christmas carols.
We just learned a whole bunch about a Christmas carol today. And by a Christmas carol, I mean a Christmas hymn, but...
Yeah, I don't think that was really a carol.
Technically.
Do people sing that song as a carol?
I mean, if they're sad, maybe. It's like a mournful Christmas carol. But it's good to see that it starts the same as every other drawing on planet Earth of yours. Oh, nope, never mind. Never mind. There's a hole in that man's face.
How do you know it's a man?
Could be a woman, you're right.
Could be anything.
Wow, that looks surprisingly good.
That's pretty much the drawing, right?
That's Christmas. That's Christmas Carol personified.
Christmas Carol. You know, I'll do like a, you know, so you know.
I wasn't suggesting you actually end here.
And then, I mean, what else do you need?
I don't know, like an actual drawing.
Oh.
You know, the thing you've been thinking about all week long and have meticulously planned out.
I didn't even know what we were going to draw until like a few minutes ago.
Yeah, neither did I, but then I realized I'd been meticulously planning it subconsciously all week.
This is hair, I guess.
That looks like a dog ear.
Well, you know, sometimes dog ears and hair don't look the same.
But sometimes, like right now,
This is like a prince from like the olden days.
They have like the worst haircut imaginable.
Yeah, exactly.
And yet everyone in the kingdom apparently copies it.
Like they have like bangs.
Oh gosh.
like a bowl cut in the front and a horrible thing in the back.
You ever seen the movie The Three Musketeers?
I've seen a couple of versions of Three Musketeers.
There's one with Kiefer Sutherland and what's his name? The reason I bring it up is
I was going to draw something different, but I mean, I'm just going to go with this whole prince thing.
The prince in the Three Musketeers movie is the worst looking prince.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know which one.
You drew him basically.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know who the actors you mentioned are, but
yeah, it's got Charlie Sheen and Kiefer Sutherland and Chris O'Donnell and Oliver Platt, and Tim Curry was the bad guy in it, but that's not the point. The point is the prince in that movie is basically what you just described. You basically are drawing him, where they like had hair clearly like down to their ankles, and then someone just like chopped it off and was like, "Oh yes, my prince. This is what princes look like these days." And everyone's like, "Why? Why?" It's like the opposite of Prince Charming. It's like Prince Dorky.
Prince Dorky.
And then he's got
to have like the big poofy pants, like, but only like here, you know, and then it like gets cut off.
Who decided that this was like the fashion?
And then like the skinniest of legs. I was supposed to draw Christmas carols, but like this is just...
What is this turning into? You've drawn like an awkward male ballerina so far.
Well, no, but this is what princes wore.
I know. There's very little difference in wardrobe.
And this was striped. Like this has to be striped.
Like, I don't know if I'll find a better picture than this, but look at this. Look at how bad he looks. Like,
Oh yes, no, that's the exact hair I was
100% of what you just drew. Like you just feel bad for him the whole movie. Look at him there. He looks even worse there somehow. I'll have to link these pictures below or something. They're just
the worst.
Atrociously bad. I mean, if you're looking at Benji's drawing right here, you're basically getting the much less realistic version.
If I remember at the end of this video when I'm editing, I'll throw in a picture. But it's basically this. Like
the fact that it just reminded me so wholeheartedly of what you drew.
Yeah, so we got this prince. See,
Yes.
I was here when I started drawing. What I was gonna draw was like a bunch of women named Carol singing Christmas carols. Like it was gonna be like but then I was just like, no, this is now a prince singing a Christmas carol.
So now you have to try to figure out how on earth this is supposed to.
So now he's at this house, which has like a door. Remember that time you drew that door and it didn't like match up?
It's best to not think back that far.
I'm just reminding you of that as I draw a door because I'm sure
You're going to show me how it's done after you're mocking.
No, I
can't wait to see it.
I'm just going to remind you.
Yeah, let's see the door.
I'm just going to remind you that it is not that you also can't draw a door.
Is the prince there just singing a Christmas carol at someone's door?
Yeah, he's singing a Christmas carol at someone's door.
This screams of like a Hallmark movie, like a princess or a Christmas carol. 3.
Yes.
Like
just like the prince like gets transported out of time and comes and sings
Christmas carols for like money because that's what people back in his day did.
Yeah. I don't know what to make this guy look like.
And then he falls in love, I guess, for the third time in the third movie.
This guy's gonna look somewhat normal.
Oh wait, this isn't the Hallmark movie star that he falls in love with. This isn't like Vanessa Hudgens.
Just like a guy.
This is like Vanessa Hudgens' dad, who's like, no, you must marry the doctor that you've known forever, but you don't actually love him. And she's like, no, I just realized that I actually love the Christmas prince who arrived on our doorstep the other day, Father. And her dad's like, realistically, like, you've known your boyfriend for 12 years, and this prince you've known for 6 minutes. But she's like, it doesn't matter. And then you meet the boyfriend, and he's like a jerk for some reason. And, you know, like, you're like, why was she even with him for 12 years if he was so bad?
Yeah.
And then he's like, no prince will be stealing my woman. Oh. It's a shame her dad was in such a horrible accident. His
leg doesn't totally match up.
His leg has been like sliced clean through.
It's like a samurai came by and sliced him, and he hasn't fallen yet.
Yeah, like it's one of those super clean cuts that you don't even notice until something.
He went and answered the door, and then he started sliding.
It's quite disturbing now. But at least it has a happy ending. With it snowing for the first time on Christmas in 50 years in their small town. You know, something like that.
Yep, just like that.
You know how every movie like that ends with like, it hasn't snowed in town since the curse was brought upon us 400 years ago. But then the Christmas prince came and saved her from a loveless marriage, and now it's snowing. What is that, like a hallway?
I decided that this house...
Like a long hallway leading to the front door?
I decided that this house is just... It's more like a
long hallway?
Yeah, it's like a plane. Like when you get off the plane. That's how this house is set up.
I don't think many architects... I don't think many architects are brave enough for this design.
Like you open a door and it's immediately a hallway.
I can tell.
And then there's this house.
Answering the front door in this house would be like rough. It'd be like, go down the other end there, end of the corridor.
Walk down the hallway to the front door.
Yep. I mean, that is a choice you made.
Okay, and so this guy's talking. Okay.
Oh, what, the father, Vanessa Hudgens' father?
Yep. I don't know how to spell words, so...
What is Vanessa Hudgens' new Christmas
How do you
movie
spell
this year?
liege?
Liege? You mean a word that's like, I need to look up in a Shakespeare dictionary?
Yeah, it's like Leig.
Liege. I think it's, if this is correct from my talk to text dictionary, it's Liege.
Yeah, I guess I before E. Am I
Feudal,
right?
superior, or sovereign.
But my
The
liege
Scots obeyed him as their liege lord.
have no figgy
Ah, yes.
pudding.
The classic Christmas Carol demand. So wait, this prince, removed from his time period, transported back to Vanessa Hudgens' house in 2021, came and immediately started singing for his right to demand figgy pudding.
That's a normal N, not an M at all, for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Bring me some right now. And then you'll find out that his daughter's name, Vanessa Hudgens' character's name, is like figgy pudding.
Like
and then she's like, "But father, I am here." He's like, "No, back to your tower." It's like 2021, but
yeah, like
their weird hallway house has a tower.
Their last name is Pudding, and they're the inventors of pudding.
Yes, indeed.
And
They're
her
like
name is like Figina,
Bigberta or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
And so for short, it's Figgy Pudding.
It's like, it was meant to be. He came without even knowing we were here and started singing our family song.
Brain makes Figgy Pudding.
Yeah. I imagine their house is kind of like Rapunzel's tower now. It's just like a long hallway that leads to a really tall tower.
Yeah, it's just a hallway tower.
Yep. Everyone in town knows the pudding house from a mile away.
That's all you need in a house.
Yeah.
One long hallway, and then one tall tower.
I kind of wonder what's going to happen next. Like, I mean, we know it's going to end the same way as every other Hallmark Christmas movie. Like, I mean, I basically already explained how it's going to end. There's the mean boyfriend. There's they fall in love. There's snow for the first time in 1,000 years in their town, and somehow him being
he has to be related to the curse. Like he was the prince that got the town cursed. Like for some reason,
the snow
by
curse.
falling in love with her, it breaks the curse now 1,000 years later.
Like a Beauty and the Beast-ish.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Except no Stockholm syndrome.
None of that. Because he's the one out of time, is not holding somebody captive.
Yeah, except her dad. Dad's kind of like, no, I like it when it doesn't snow. And like,
he hates
your mother died of frostbite. Don't you remember that? And he has like a sad backstory that they hug about at the end. And then he gets a new leg.
Yeah, because he got cut off by the samurai.
Yeah, the samurai, which is somehow also related to the curse.
Yeah, I mean...
Like,
obviously. What kind of curse do you have without a samurai?
I don't know. I worry that he's gonna like die like right there. I mean, that's how they're gonna meet. He's gonna like collapse, and Vanessa Hudgens' character is gonna run out and be like, "Oh my gosh, my father!" And he'll be like, I think there was a samurai, but I was too busy singing about wanting figgy pudding." And she'll look at him and she'll be like, "But that's my name." And then there'll be like some music or something, and Dad'll be like passed out, and ambulance will show up, and
the
she won't even. And then
off.
for the rest of the movie, she won't even be like concerned about her father, because she'll just be like falling in love with the prince.
Yeah, the dad.
And then the dad,
the side story.
The dad and the boyfriend, who's a jerk, will be like teaming up to get rid of the prince. But then the father will realize that he's been wrong all along, and he just wants his little girl to be happy. And then the bad boyfriend, he'll get like run over by a reindeer.
It has to be like a snow-related accident.
Oh, snow-related accidents.
Yeah, because it's like the curse ended and he gets like injured because of
like
it.
a snowplow or something.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah. or he like is like driving recklessly
Oh
because
yeah,
he's a jerk.
yeah. There we go. Like
Slides on the ice because he's not
into
used
the
to
frozen
driving.
lake,
Yeah.
and then he like sinks slowly, and you see his hand reach up, and you know he's going to be back in the
Oh
sequel
yeah, of course.
because there's going to be like 6 of these,
Yeah.
all with the same plot,
Yeah, just like slightly different
slightly
somehow.
different, but all about the prince. And
Still about the same prince and the same girl.
somehow
but
it really won't
somehow-
change. There'll just be like 2 princes in the next
Mhm.
movie, and then 3, like Vanessa Hudgens' movie that's on Netflix.
Like
A princess, a Christmas prince or whatever. It's just like there's like
or-
she plays
or like
a princess.
the ones where
or-
she like plays multiple princesses
Yeah.
that all look the same.
Yeah, it'll be like you'll find out she had a sister,
Mhm.
and there's another prince, and there's another curse related to like the Christmas trees don't grow in our town.
Yeah, just like basically the exact same plot.
Yeah, but people will love it because it's that's what they tune in for.
Yeah, it's somehow good.
Your drawing
even though
has
it's
an-
terrible.
Your drawing has an awful lot of lore now for its being an
Just like
accidental
nothing.
prince drawing.
Yep,
But-
it was not ever gonna be the prince.
If I've learned anything from this drawing, it's that architects everywhere should be watching our channel so they know how to build the entryway of houses better.
Yeah, I mean, how much cooler would it be if your house was basically an L because it's just one hallway and one tower?
Be great.
I'd
I'd live in it.
It's what everything should
I feel like it'd be like very space saving too,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
And it would look like a spaceship thing, like where you have like the hallway to go into the spaceship, and then
Honestly, I'd be intrigued by the neighborhood of like L-shaped space-looking homes,
yep, it would be great.
but not as great as what I'm about to come draw.
Oh yes, let's see it.
I can't wait.
It can't really be worse, I'm sure.
It definitely couldn't be unless it has such a good storyline like yours. So work hard at developing that. Because I don't want to brag or anything, but I think I saved your drawing. I think I saved it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Now that everybody wants this to come to Netflix next year,
yeah, mine was supposed to be nothing about princes, so
and it turned into princes and samurais and fathers and Vanessa Hudgens.
yeah, even though none of those things are in this drawing except for the prince.
Not at all.
Yeah, but let's see what you're gonna do.
All right, let's see it. All right, so I'm going more traditional with this Christmas Carol story
Mm-hmm.
thing.
What's more traditional than the prince and the being taken out of time?
I mean,
and
I'm
being-
sad to say there's
no
probably
curse.
like a whole generation now that's grown up with like their mom just watching like terrible made-for-TV Christmas movies, and that's like their idea of Christmas movies now. They're like, man, Christmas movies are just the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, but no, I'm going back to like Charles Dickens. Does it get more classic than that? Books that you're forced to read in high school.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
he only did like
because
one
nobody's going to
Christmas
read them
movie,
any other
first
time.
Book, I mean,
He did what?
he only did like one Christmas book. Though.
Yeah, and it's easily his best book because it's like easily
Because
the
it's short
shortest.
and
Yeah.
not like a million descriptions
I
for.
mean, it's a pretty good story.
everything.
So I'm going with the traditional Christmas Carol storyline. And as
Okay.
everybody knows, there's only one character that everyone wants to see in a Christmas Carol: Ebenezer Scrooge,
Oh, I thought you meant the first ghost.
the one that nobody
The
can
one
distinguish.
that nobody knows what it looks like.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we really want to see it because we don't know what it's going to be this time.
Yep.
An old man, an old woman, a child, a candle, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I say a candle because
are accurate.
there's literally a version, the animated one, where it's like a candle.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
But
like,
the actual description is like, it looks kind of like a flame, but also like, you can't tell what gender or age it is. Like the way it describes it is like impossible to picture.
that is very true.
Like I want to know what Charles Dickens like actually was imagining in his head when he said it.
I don't think this is how top hats look, but
It is now. You're like giving it a base. It's like a very thick based top hat.
yeah, it's what the rich folks have. The rich folks that don't keep up with the latest fashion.
It's got to hold all that snow on its rim.
Yeah, not like break. You know how embarrassing it is when you're rich and your top hat breaks because it's so big?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have to get the strongest top hats around.
Strongest, thickest, brimmed top hats.
Indeed. Nothing says Christmas time like flaunting a good top hat.
You're taking quite some time on this top hat here.
Maybe because I'm not entirely sure where to go next.
Ah, makes sense.
I know there has to be a face under here.
Yes, an Ebenezer face.
Yes, indeed. It's to be a craggy looking thing with an old person nose that sticks out like this.
Think you mean a beak?
I mean, when I picture Ebenezer Scrooge, it's not that far off.
Like like maybe like this looks like a witch, but like with a top hat.
This ear isn't helping either. Ah, yes.
Is he smiling?
Speaking.
Okay.
That's pretty horrifying looking already.
Yeah.
You know what's going to make it worse? Trying to draw eyes on this thing that makes sense.
Yeah, you can do beady little eyes. That'll make it.
Just like 2 dots? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, that's what I'm suggesting.
Yeah. Oh, yes. But angry. And has like a wart on his chin.
It's hard to know the difference between the wart and the eyes. Just little bits of hair.
Yes.
It just so much looks like a witch.
It's Ebenezer Scrooge. The man.
You mean the witch?
No.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Okay, now I have to draw clothes on him.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to not look like a witch. Somehow.
I think you're just gonna keep. This is gonna be another of your Siberian bear, where you're going for tiger and it's just everything.
You mean like how you were going for a woman and got a prince?
Yes, but see, I immediately gave up and just drew a prince. You're gonna keep going for Ebenezer Scrooge, and everything you draw is gonna make it look more like a witch.
You might be right about that. I mean, this neck alone that I've already started is not very promising. Maybe if we just go for it all. Okay, the pen. The pen
hasn't messed up for weeks. I think you're just blaming things.
I'll leave that little bit to blame on something later.
The only reason the whole drawing was bad is because of that one thing. Okay, how is this not a witch?
Because he has a top hat, not a witch's hat.
Are you gonna color it in black?
I think I can't, for the sake of it.
Where's its wand and or staff?
I'm gonna give it a staff. But now I don't think I can. Gosh, it's the worst Ebenezer Scrooge ever.
You could give it a.
He doesn't even look old anymore. He looks surprisingly spry and young.
Well, that's how witches are. They have surprisingly spry and young, but then their faces just look hideous.
I don't even know how to fix this. It's just so terrible already.
You just had to say that you were drawing a witch the whole time. That's what I did in my prints. That it's a magic ball on a staff.
We can go with that if you'd like. So here we got Ebenezer Scrooge.
I don't understand that hand holding, like...
It's like on one side.
But is that like the left hand holding, like, weirdly twisted?
Oh, shoot, it is the left hand, isn't it? I mean, it's a witch, so it doesn't really
matter. Her hands were put on backwards.
I I don't know. But that's not the point. The drawing isn't about Scrooge. It's about Christmas Carol.
Okay.
Which, yes, he is part of the Christmas Carol story.
Mm-hmm.
Some say even the main character.
Yep.
Although I would make a strong case for Bob Cratchit actually being the main character. But that's just because Kermit played him in the Muppet version, and Kermit's always the main character.
Oh, so. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. But aside from that...
But he didn't need to be, redeemed, so the story would have been boring if it was actually about him.
You're exactly right. You know that? As always. Exactly right. But no, we gotta go with Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm.
Who also has beady eyes.
Oh, okay.
In normal size.
The lips?
They are now. It was supposed to be a nose. But it's just got lips. I'm gonna call it a nose still.
Yeah, okay, it's just they broke their nose just before this.
Poor Christmas Carol.
So is this actually going to be a person named Carol?
Yeah, it's
and not a prince.
Not a prince.
Okay.
I mean, it might develop into that.
I mean, that's what happened to me. Yeah, that's not really prince hair.
No, it's too long. Somehow.
The nose.
It's speaking. Yeah.
That's why this person or this being is the Christmas Carol. Because
those aren't extra eyes. Those are like rosy cheeks.
Yeah, they're bigger than the eyes.
Yeah, thank you for acknowledging that.
They sing from both their nose and their mouth at the same time, doing melody with themselves.
Arms and dresses are complicated.
I mean,
I'm just not gonna give her an arm there.
She pregnant? No.
How rude! You don't just assume that because someone accidentally drew a belly on her. It definitely looks terrifying though.
But what is that part?
It's the arm.
The arm? Okay.
So this is Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm.
She comes out once a year, kind of like the ghosts of Christmas, past and present and future.
Right.
You think they appear to more people than just Scrooge?
Well, going off of that old movie, the Ghost of Christmas Present said that his brothers come every year to help bring cheer to humans. And this year he came to Scrooge because he had to fix Scrooge because that was the way to bring the most cheer to humans.
Ah, well, then that explains it.
But I don't know if that's true about the Ghost of Christmas Past and Future. This may have been a special case for them.
This is like a door behind Scrooge.
Is she flying?
She's on a mound of snow.
Oh.
Yeah, mound of snow outside Scrooge's door.
Yes, makes sense. If I was the snow plow person, I'd probably push all the snow to his door.
Yeah. He has a door knocker, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that was a big part of the story.
Yeah. It's like a...
A smiley face door knocker.
You have to believe that it like turned into a person. It couldn't have just been like nothing.
I thought it was just like a smiley face.
It's not smiling.
The disappointed face.
What's a good Christmas carol for Carol to sing? That's right. She sings her own Christmas carol that she made up.
She made it up.
She makes up all the Christmas carols, actually. That's where they come from. That's why they're called Christmas carols.
Oh, because Christmas
Every
Carol
year,
made them
Christmas carol appears to one person, sometimes more, but usually just one, and sings them a song. However, usually people are, like wised up to this. They're like, oh my gosh, Christmas Carol picked me this year. Quick, children, quick, other people around me, get some paper and pens and write down the words and remember the music so that we can, get this in the history books.
That's why there's just never-ending amount of Christmas carols.
Exactly right.
Constantly coming out every year.
Yeah, that's why like Christmas Carol's getting like a little, it's getting a little stretched thin these years. She's like singing about like kangaroos pulling Santa's sled through Australia. That's what happens when she appears to somebody in Australia. Like, oh yes, the Six White Boomers Christmas song, a classic from Christmas Carol herself. And in the 60s, she was like sophisticated, and the 50s or whenever they were writing Christmas songs. Like, yes, Frank Sinatra, I'm appearing to you this year, and you are going to sing this version. And then she appeared to him for like 40 years in a row. And Bing Crosby.
Has she always been pregnant, though?
She has a poofy dress.
Only the front? Only where the stomach is?
It's not her fault that when Christmas Carol arrives, everyone is serving their, traditional Christmas desserts and is like, Christmas Carol, you have to try my cookies. You won't believe it. And she's like, I've had 10,000 already before, every other year.
It's her fault. There's that one time where she just forced them to give her figgy pudding.
That was the first song. Never again has she done such a thing.
She's just so full of figgy pudding now.
I don't
like how people leave cookies and milk for Santa. She appears to the house with the most figgy pudding in it.
What is happening with my pet? Why does it turn to a mouse there?
The library, it thinks, is there somehow.
Yeah.
Is his door like gated off?
It's just got like design on it.
Oh.
Like wooden panels that make
one of those designed doors.
Yeah, you know the type. But anyway, she comes out and she sings a Christmas song every year, and people normally are like, oh my gosh, Christmas Carol, write it down, quick, quick, quick. But one year she's like, I'm going to go to Scrooge. And Scrooge, he's like...
Is this like before or after?
This is before. This is in the prequel years. And he's just like, bah. Humbug. It's amazing how I imagine that like bah humbug was just like a common saying of the day. Like people said it about everything. And then Charles Dickens wrote this book and they're like, we can't say that anymore. He just ruined like an entire figure of speech for the rest of time. That's how powerful his book was.
Right.
Yeah, but she's like, she comes out and sings a Christmas song to him.
He probably just made it up.
This Christmas song is lost time though, because unlike everyone else, Scrooge wasn't like, oh, quick, write it down. He was like, no, let it be forgotten forever.
So this isn't like her singing I Hate People.
You're not going to recognize
because
this.
He definitely went around town singing that.
Yeah, that's his own song. But he definitely, you've never heard this before. So this is going to be
a brand new song that was very old. And we just now, somehow you were passed down the scroll from the kid that heard it.
Upon my heart, sing a song or fall apart. Snow. Not sand. Hold my hand. Fa, la, 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 la.
I think I'm satisfied with this song being lost to time.
So is Scrooge. So that's why it doesn't exist outside of this conversation he and Christmas Carol had.
Mm-hmm. And then the person that secretly wrote it down and passed it down through your family.
I haven't told anybody this
years.
before, but Christmas Carol is actually my great mother.
But she appears.
She's
multiple
like
people.
really old.
Mm-hmm.
Like if she looks pregnant, it's because that's my like great.
Oh, okay.
She also totally looks like an alien with 4 eyes the way I drew her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the fact that her nose is just a mouth and she can sing harmony with herself.
It's how she's developed over time. It's how all true singers get.
If you think yourself a true singer and your nose isn't a mouth,
Oh gosh, what have I
you're
done?
just not a true singer.
Apparently,
What are you doing?
I don't even.
You've ruined Christmas.
Yeah, there we go. Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm.
So let this be a lesson to everybody, because it wouldn't be our videos without a lesson. If Christmas Carol appears to you this holiday season, please make sure that you get some pens and papers and write down what she says so that it's not lost to time, like this beautiful melody.
Well, I mean, this one could. It could be.
Unless it sounds like this song, then yeah, just get rid of it. But
I mean, yeah, we'll leave the judgment to you, but have the pen and paper ready by the door, just in case.
if you're putting out milk and cookies this year for Santa, at least put out a pad of paper and a pen for Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm. And some figgy pudding.
And some figgy pudding in case she comes. You never know what dessert she's going to come demanding.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people make so many Christmas desserts. You ever notice that? Christmas time is like, people make so many desserts at Christmas time. It's because she comes around and just like demands certain things from certain people. And whatever she demands gets put into song form and becomes part of Christmas. So now people make it every year. She has a lot of power, Christmas Carol.
It's true. But the time that she wanted figgy pudding, she was very desperate. She wanted it right now.
Yep, that was a rough year for Christmas Carol. Rough year for Christmas Carol. Just bring it right now, right here. Give me some figgy pudding.
Yeah, nobody even knows what figgy pudding is.
The problem was people were too busy writing down what she was saying to actually bring her the figgy pudding. Yeah.
Just keep writing right now.
Why aren't you getting it? They understood the importance of Christmas Carol. But I hope you all learned something today. I hope you all sing a Christmas Carol or two. Put out your pen and paper next to your milk and cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a Scrooge witch. Please don't be that.
If you're going to be one, don't be the other also.
Yeah, that's true. And I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. We will not be back until the day after Christmas with more beautiful artwork for you to admire. So show your family this.
And your enemies.
And we'll see you next time.
Merry Christmas.
As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we won't.
We would say share it with your friends, but it's probably better for wasting your enemies' time.
We're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.